Hi everyone and welcome to 1/6 Figure Focus, and in this video I'll be unboxing and reviewing, finally, I can't actually fit this in the screen, this is the INART Joker Rooted 2-pack. Let's get started. Okay, so what you're looking at here is the gigantic tombstone looking box for the INART Joker Rooted 2-pack or Deluxe edition. Obviously there was a sculpted 2-pack premium edition, and then there was the single sculpted as well. Just for perspective, I put the double pack or the two figures in front of this because this box is huge. It's actually unnecessarily big. It's a very classy looking box, but I just felt it was a bit maybe too big. On the front you have the Dark Knight Trilogy logo, and obviously it says the Joker. On the side then you have like the platinum or PT or whatever it is, a few codes basically for the releases and some details about the release, and then some the instruction or other kind of whodunits and stuff like that in a different language, which you can feel free to freeze this video if you want. So this box actually came wrapped in kind of like cling film. There's a bit of a magnet there, seems to be kind of like a weak magnet there on the side. It is actually quite weak, it just doesn't seem to be clasping as well as I'd like. Or maybe it's not magnetic, maybe it's just kind of sticky or whatever. But anyway, it does have a premium feel overall. Like I said, this was wrapped in like kind of a cling film type plastic. Then it was put in a shipper box. Shipper box photo should be appearing right there. And then Lion Rock Toys, who I got this from, actually double boxed it, so it was absolutely gigantic. Picture there popping up of it fitting into my car. Anyway, inside in this box, there's obviously styrofoam, and then there's a black envelope which reveals the operation guide. This black envelope was obviously put in between two Velcro straps, which I'm told from statue collectors, the unboxing experience for this is very similar to unboxing a statue. Inside the black envelope you have the operation guide, you have a silver letter from INART, and then you've got this movie stub here. Kind of a nice touch. It's a very premium feel. There's a lot of care has gone into it, and then some sort of a cert with that, something different language. Basically, there's a few bits and pieces. They're nice touches. Like at the end of the day, it's all about the figure for me. But these little things, like it shows if the care has gone into the packaging, they've definitely cared about their figure. And I can tell you right now, it's pretty damn good. So these are the two straps. They just open up, and then there's it's all styrofoam. So there's like three layers. There's the lid. There is the layer that I'm looking at right now with the figures and stuff, and then there's the under layer. Anyway, so I'm going to show you everything. That piece there was from the magnetic base, which has caused a bit of controversy. I don't see why. I think it's great. You've got the bench as well. It's actually die cast. It's really, really heavy. Definitely doesn't feel cheap. You've got the figure here. That one there was for the actual jail cell, or basically the one without the purple coat, just the body, because the body was separate to the sculpt. And then that one there was for the purple coat body. All this stuff is wrapped in plastic as well. It's kind of a smooth, classy plastic. It's not like a sticky plastic. These two tubes here now are for the sculpt. That one on the left for the jail cell one, the one on the right, the one I'm pointing at now. Now, I did have an issue with this. The only issue I had with the packaging is that both head sculpts had come loose from those little, see the little pegs there in the center of these tubes? Because the head sculpts were actually pegged onto them, and they were rattling around. Thankfully there was no major damage or anything like that. Hair was a bit scuffed up, but that was about the size of it. Now, all of this stuff you see here, besides the grenades, were wrapped up in this kind of like smooth little, they're plastic bags, but it's kind of a smooth plastic. It's hard to describe. It's not cheap, sticky plastic. It was like it's just a very smooth plastic. That's the best way to describe it, I suppose. But I've gone ahead and just like opened them up so you can see. So these are all the swap out gloved hands. These are grenades, which are die cast and quite heavy. And these are the seamless forearms. And then these ones here are for if you want to say, I think this is for if you wanted to put the gloved hands on the jail cell one. So basically different like types of forearms and like different gesturing hands and stuff like that. So you could use those kind of stumps as well if you want a bit more articulation on the wrist if you want, but you have to put the gloves on then really, wouldn't you? This is for the machine gun, which obviously I have on the purple coat Joker to recreate that scene which they shot in Chicago, the hit me scene when he's on the Batman's on the Batpod. That's the knife wrapped up, that's the Glock, the magazine. There are the cards, and this is the cash basically. Like, I'm not going to take them out. That little hole there, that was for the die-cast handcuffs. So basically I want you to see everything that comes in the box and how it's packaged before we go and like kind of look at the figure itself. This is just straight up how I have the purple coat version posed on my shelf to recreate that hit me scene. You can see the head sculpt there on the right bottom corner as well. All looks super in fairness. Here we've got the just the jail cell version without the jail cell. And then this is just kind of to take a look at the actual jail cell diorama. The wood on the floor is real wood. The bars are real die cast. There's a lot of weathering going on. He articulates very well. I was surprised how stiff the ankles were, and the knees seem ratcheted as well, and the legs. Look at that head sculpt. I was very impressed. It's my first rooted hair figures. I was never a fan of rooted hair, but I think like this is up there with customs. And I know that Trevor 16 Shooter is big into his customs, and he informs me that sometimes you could spend, you know, hundreds of dollars, up to $500 just a head sculpt. The tailoring's amazing. One thing I have to say is that I hated putting on the head sculpts. The head sculpts, like I said, came separately, and trying to get the head sculpt in onto the peg without squishing the shirt collar underneath, you really have to push the shoulders back, loosen up that collar, loosen the tie to get it on. Even the detail here, there's a wood base. It just screams quality. The die cast jail cell, it's extremely heavy. It's really heavy, and I've been told that once it pegs into the wood, it can actually start leaning. Mine kind of hasn't really. I think it's maybe slightly backwards, maybe like a 90, instead of 90 degrees, maybe 92 or 93 degrees. It's not like perfectly perpendicular when I put it in, but like it's you know, barely noticeable. Now maybe it will over time loosen, but so far so good. Very impressed by the diorama, the wood, the base, everything. Now this is the real deal here. This is what I really want. When I think of Heath Ledger's Joker, I think of that purple coat, I think of that street scene. So like I said, the same as the other one, trying to get the head sculpt onto the body with that tight shirt was a nightmare. I mean, you think putting Iron Man batteries in is bad? It just pales, but it's totally worth it. Any of my complaints here about maybe like the wrist pegs and stuff like that, they're completely overshadowed by the aesthetic quality of this. I can't speak for anyone else, but I 100% think it was worth the money and the hassle that I had to go through to get it after cancelling from another retailer, and eventually Lion Rock Toys helped me out. The tailoring, the sculpt, the rooted hair, the paint application, the die-cast weaponry, amazing. Drawbacks, I would say, I wasn't impressed that the two head sculpts had popped off their pegs and were rattling around the packaging. I find the head sculpts getting them on was annoying, and the wrist pegs can kind of be annoying to pop on. You really have to push them in there to get them in there. Once they're in there, they're fine. I actually think the magnetic base is grand. Pro tip, pose this without the base before trying it with the base. Okay folks, that's the end of the video, but before I finish up, I just want to take this opportunity to give a massive shout out and thank you to Lion Rock Toys. They're a Hong Kong based reseller. They offer free worldwide shipping, and they are who sold me this particular figure. And given that I already had this on order from another company who shall remain nameless, and I cancelled and got a full refund, Lion Rock Toys kind of helped me out and saved the day there. I obviously paid for my own money, but they offered me a very, very competitive rate. And of course, free worldwide shipping, happy days. Sure, you couldn't beat with a stick. Yeah, so massive shout out to them. Again, buy from whoever you want to buy from. I personally have had good experiences with Lion Rock. Anyway, if you want to support the channel, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. Let me know if you're picking up this INART Joker or not, and you think it's worth the hype or the money or not. Yeah, that's it. You can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter. That's it. That's the end of the video. See you in the next one. Good luck.